It's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and there were flashes of a lie.
Yuffie wants McDonald's. Yuffie wants McDonald's. Yuffie wants McDonald's. Sonon. McDonald's. Yes, where we left off. Still looking for that ultimate materia and just taking in these wonderful giant robot arms hanging around.
Yuffie is a proud ninja. She eats only the finest chicken nuggets and nothing but chicken nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out.
It does look more important than the others.
This has to be it. Oh, sweet baby, come to mama. Can't see squat. Light. I need more light.
So yes, looking at that chair, sure, a lot of people are probably wondering, can you sit in the chair again? And the answer is yes. It is also a chair that heals you.
That chair looks way better to take naps in than the benches anyway. Like, this makes sense. You should get a buff from sitting in that chair.
Yeah, I agree. I think the real thing is, can that chair lean back? It looks like it needs to lean back a bit, but I don't know. Also, this room, we had seen previously in a cutscene in the main campaign, that really brief cutscene when you're like in the Shinra building where you see Scarlet like leaving that room as they're doing materia experiments and it just explodes and kills all the scientists inside. It's the same place.
Energy saturation. Deploying security break.
Now we're cooking. Coming materia, ready or not.
So every time you activate the power on each of these floors, it also activates an elevator so you can kind of go back and forth. Because I need to go back to the lower floor because that box breaking minigame has a higher difficulty that gets even more materia that is really fucking hard, and I had to practice it for a while.
That's what we've been doing. We've been in the hyperbaric time chamber practicing box breaking.
Yeah, I forget how many months ago it was we recorded the last episode, like fucking 3 or 4, I don't know. All sense of time. Turns out when you work on making video games, there's sometimes just months where you just come out of it and you're like, what happened? What was I doing? And I didn't even like crunch. It was just a lot of work. Having the parry materia equipped so that we can cancel out of some of Yuffie's moves faster is pretty handy here for saving time.
Proceed to gate to begin training exercise.
Yeah, soldier training.
Soldier training. You know how soldiers are always hitting boxes.
They love it.
I mean, yeah, the one soldier that I know does break a lot of boxes, actually. This fits, this tracks.
So in the easier version of this minigame, you only had to get 20,000 points to get all 3 rewards. Now we have to get 50,000.
Yeah.
And the boxes are laid out a little differently. This is just really difficult, partially because there's just so many targets, and the targeting system in this game is fine for normal combat, but when you have this many targets, it gets hard to hit exactly what you want to do. So, thankfully the timer also slows down when you enter, like, ATB mode.
Well, yeah.
So, that makes it a lot easier to, like, deliberately target what you want to hit.
Run like a chocobo?
Yeah, it's just really hard. To get 50,000 points, you have to break every single box. You can't miss one. Yeah.
So you gotta get all the time boxes. That's the only way this works.
Yep. And the order you take the boxes out in really matters because those really big 1,500 point boxes, they're beefy. They take a lot of hits. You can waste a lot of time trying to break those boxes, and there are certain moves that are just way more efficient at taking them out, which means you really have to save and manage your ATB. It's a lot. And you also kind of need to know some really like minor details of how some of the moves work. Like Windstorm here is really good at taking those boxes out on platforms, but the only way you can really hit it with Windstorm is if you throw your shuriken out first, because that move appears wherever the shuriken is and not you.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so...
You're gonna get what's coming to you.
Like, thankfully, Art of War and stuff, and some of our other moves have a pretty generously large hitbox, so it makes it a little easier. And also, like, the quickest way to take out those big 1,500 point boxes is, like, doing one, like, throw and retrieve of the shuriken at it and then hitting it with Art of War. It's, like, the quickest way. And if you don't have any other good means of taking a box out, you just need to throw the shuriken and grab it, just non-stop.
Sneaky box.
Yep.
They hide them from you.
Yep.
That sucks.
It sucks. There's a couple sneaky boxes. And like, God, I was really trying to lock onto the fucking time box, and then I fucked up anyways. Thankfully, there's that little trick of like, if you have to call your shuriken back, if you put other boxes in between you and the shuriken, you'll kind of slam into it from both sides. And I don't know if it does extra damage. It feels like it. It should if it doesn't, because it's cool.
And you know, just that it feels like it is maybe the most important thing.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Oh wow, you're almost halfway there.
You're right.
There we go, halfway.
Yep, it's so tough. Speaking of time boxes, there's a room on the other side of this wall to the right that has even more boxes, including some time boxes that are basically butting up right against that wall. And Windstorm actually clips through walls, so you can get those time boxes early if you're like right here.
There we go.
This is
That's
like
the ticket.
This is like the only way I can ever do this reliably, is if I get that box through the wall first to get an extra 10 seconds.
You're gonna get what's coming to you.
Like, yeah, people say, man, like the pull-ups minigame with Tifa, real fucking hard, but like this is magnitudes above that. This one's like, you have to really like this game or really be into achievement hunting to want to bother getting 50,000 points on this, because it's just, you've really got to put the practice in. It's absurd.
Run like a chocobo.
What's Sonon doing during
Just hearing lots of hyas and run like a chocobos. So there's a big cluster of boxes here. You better have been using a lot of ATB so that you can charge up your banishment to the max level.
I noticed you got a full banishment ready to go.
Do it right in the middle.
Hell yes, that's the ticket.
It feels real good when you do it, though.
You're going down.
Then you got like these fucking little shields that you have to deal with.
Oh my god, you're so close.
Right.
Oh, you got it though. You got this. Yes.
Yeah. It's actually
amazing.
It's actually possible to finish this minigame with like 10 to 15 seconds left in the clock, but it's so like technical in execution. It's so hard, dude.
Congratulations. Look at all that. Oh, you got some materias. Oh man.
Yep. Yeah, the 3 materia you get is a gil up, an experience up, and also which surprisingly is the easiest one to get, a magnify materia. Even though it's like the most useful one.
Not if you want more gil or experience.
I guess, but I guess.
I look at you, Fee, and I see someone who gets a Little Caesars hot and ready and picks all the pepperonis off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She does really come off like a picky eater. Like, aside from those jaw-breaking beans that all Wutaians eat, yeah. Grilled cheese, chicken noodle soup, chicken nuggets, cheese pizza, that's it.
Man, another stupid dud. Uh-oh. Quit holding out on us, Shinra. We're here for materia, not these dorks.
God, everybody wants this chair. It's a really good chair.
Oh yeah, Sonon, with his weapon we picked up last episode, he has the Insight ability now, which whoever you target with it, it just draws aggro to Sonon. In most cases, some enemies, like it says in the text, it works on weak enemies, so like on bosses and some beefier guys, it might not work all the time or at all. But yeah, it will just draw aggro. You can tell who's got aggro on Sonon because it's just like a red anger line being drawn from them to him.
Got your back.
Yes, we still are using the ninja cannonball materia so that we can sync up and have Sonon throw Yuffie at dudes, which makes Sonon's ATB charge up a bunch, which is like, once you have this, you can make Sonon use way more abilities if you're just making sure he's always chucking Yuffie across the map.
Every time I try to get rid of her, she just bounces back.
How you like this?
Come on. Oh, you butt.
Let's do this.
I'm on it.
Bring it on.
It's a shame I did not have enough space to keep like the steel materia on me, so I can't do that cool thing of like, whenever this guy charges up, you just like tear the power source out of his suit with the steel move.
Coming to you. Get lost! Run like a chocobo?
Come on.
Do your work!
Warlock's over.
So, have you found out what they want yet?
We think so. We can't say for certain, as their behavior is erratic. But they appear to be searching for materia.
Excuse me? You mean to say that these savages have gone to all this trouble for materia?
So far as we can tell, yes.
How very dull. Be that as it may, I suppose I should talk to them.
Ma'am.
Enjoying yourselves, I trust? All by a simple hologram? How precious. But I know just what you need to loosen up a little. After such a long journey, you must be so tense. Luckily, I have toys for that. All far more entertaining than this.
What do you want?
Oh dear. Is that any way to talk to your host? Really, though. As guests, it's more about what you want, and I think you'll find it just up ahead. Hurry now. Don't keep me waiting.
So, boss, what are you thinking?
That we're walking into a trap, I guess. But it's nothing we can't handle, right?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, it's not any super special material, but it's still an AP up. Which is good, since there isn't... Like, whatever material you level up is what you level up in the DLC. Like, there aren't too many opportunities to kind of grind it up, so...
I'm just glad there's somewhere for Yuffie to sit, where her animation doesn't look like she's trying to hurt herself.
Yeah. By the way, like, all the DLC items and summon materia you can still grab for the DLC campaign, but there's one new DLC thing that was for this campaign. One extra weapon for Yuffie, which is, yes, a shuriken in the shape of a cactuar, with one pant leg. Which also means there's still one more ability for Yuffie to learn in the DLC.
Oh, yeah.
This was like a pre-order thing, but like all the other DLC for this game, it's just, you can just get it now. You don't have to, it's not stuck behind the pre-order. But the Cactstar is, it's got a couple different like builds you can use for it if you're just picking and choosing before you max it out. It's either like a very luck-based weapon or a weapon that like doesn't have great attack and magic stats, but it does give you a lot of extra MP and also makes your MP regenerate really fast.
Okay.
Like big boosts to that. I'm just going for all the critical hit stuff and all the things that bring out the Danger Mario build in this.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think the Danger Mario stuff from the Paper Mario games was the first time I was ever exposed and really thought about the concept of risk-reward in gameplay styles. And I was just like, wait, this is the best! Why would I ever do anything but this? Yeah, we're switching over to this armlet we picked up last episode that triples AP growth, but only has one slot. It's just a couple things I wanted to put more stuff, or rather this stuff later in the DLC that you can silence, which I just don't have access to yet.
Like Yuffie? Is it possible for her to be silent?
No.
Because I'm gonna guess no, it's not.
I think she's biologically immune to that status effects, yeah. Sonon is a very patient babysitter.
She, as long as you get the milk at McDonald's, we can go.
Yeah, I switched up Sonon's materia here so that he still has the synergy thing linked up to lightning, so that every time I do something, he casts off a lightning spell. But also, he'll get healed from doing that now too.
Welcome to our state-of-the-art weapons testing facility. This is where we push every piece of ordnance to its limits and beyond. Such tests are an invaluable part of the development process. Go on, see where the magic happens.
Commencing
I don't know, I like old Shinra land when it had that 80s charm.
Ordnance type to deploy for this trial.
Now there's all this IP in here, I don't know.
So you get to choose
Selection confirmed.
what enemies you're fighting for this section. The fact that you interact with the holograms with the shuriken makes me wonder how the Shinra soldiers or anybody interacts with those. Are they just shooting them?
Well, yeah, they're testing their ordnance.
Sure, okay, yeah.
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Subjects approaching test site. Test will begin momentarily. Beginning analysis.
What's this new shuriken do?
So it's the ability I don't use in this first fight, I believe, just because it's a little more situational, and I wouldn't say it's a joke ability, but it almost feels like that.
Okay. It's not a joke, it's just a cactus that wears half a pants.
Yeah.
It's not a joke, though.
It is very fun, though, to, especially on a New Game Plus run where you just have this weapon from the start, to just have this equipped the whole time so it shows up in cutscenes. Yeah, its move is called Cactuar Caper, and when we do use it, it just makes your shuriken hops out of Yuffie's hands, and it just runs around like a Cactuar and just runs into stuff.
I thought it would be an ability with just like set damage numbers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one of the other things. Some of
its head came off. It's rolling around. That's gross.
Time to deploy for this trial.
I wish Yuffie would just like punt it.
Selection confirmed.
But yeah, some of the other passive upgrades I put on there were just increases to how much damage a critical hit can do. So like that final synergized ability that I used in that fight, it was just all 9s. It hit the damage cap.
Yeah.
Begin momentarily.
Hey, big guys, how you doing? Are you ready to watch my weapon move on its own? It's pretty cool.
It's a magic trick, and Yuffie's just in her magic trick phase. It's really annoying. So yes, the Cactuar Caper. I suppose one benefit of it is that it stays out for a really long time, which means you're also in magic mode for a really long time.
Yeah.
And you can still like manually recall the shuriken to you if you need to. It's also something you can use while you're in the air. Yeah, there it goes.
Look at him go! There he goes! Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, whenever you have more than one enemy in the field, it seems to just hit each enemy, like it just takes turns hitting each enemy in sequence.
I love watching it go in slow motion and then noticing how it's outpacing, like, missiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got your back.
I really wish I could take multiple missiles to the back and just act like someone's kind of roughly pushing me, but not too hard.
Don't let him down.
It's like making your way to the exit at the end of a concert. Like, okay, we're all going to the same place. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, you found me okay?
It's also really funny whenever you block as Yuffie with that when the shuriken's out, because she just puts her bare arms up to block bullets and missiles. It still works the same way, but
One of them's not bare, at least.
yeah.
Needs a backup!
All right. You're mine.
Power of
Now, are you worried that Yuffie's going to challenge you to some sort of wager? And if you can't pay up, your most valuable organ will be seized from you.
I mean, now that I know they're the same voice actress, just a little bit. I'm gonna not do this thought exercise right now because I would just get completely absorbed by it for the rest of the night. But what would every FF7's character's stand be? Is the thing I was just thinking of.
Well, I mean, it's hard for Cloud because he does not listen to music, and he seems proud of that for some reason. I don't know.
Everyone else definitely listens to music, but not, yeah.
Test will begin momentarily.
Okay, I'm only going to entertain this for another second here. Sephiroth's stand would be called Linkin Park.
Yeah. And Jesse's is something from Cabaret. Like.
Oh, yep. God damn it, that means Wedge's stand is just called Cats, right?
Yeah. The power of my stand, Bustopher Jones.
You're going down!
Why does Scarlet think that these little critters are a worthy test?
For trying.
Analysis
I don't know.
Continuing trial. Select ordnance type to deploy for this trial.
Now, a robot whose face is a drill.
That's something. Now
That's
we're
something.
talking.
Yeah.
Initiating ordnance deployment procedure. Subjects approaching test site. Test will begin momentarily.
Sonan just leans over like, hey, I want to get off Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, right? And Yuffie's like, that is way before my time, old man. What are you talking about?
Do we even have the internet? I'm not entirely sure. We definitely have phones, smartphones, but... Since the last time we recorded an update, they like announced the next remake game, which is called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Very small trailer, but it gives us a little bit of insight into some stuff.
I'm excited for the fan community to make a demake, just so it will be called Final Fantasy VII Unbirth. I'm really hoping that turns out well.
Oh no, Sephiroth's into a new thing and it's unbirthing.
but yeah, Rebirth, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently next winter. I don't know if they mean fiscal year, which could mean 2024 or whatever, but that's exciting. This is the other thing I mentioned Sonon can do. If Yuffie is ever taken out, he will sacrifice his own life to revive her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And he just starts praying in the end zone the whole time.
Yep.
Come on.
Speaking of a demake, though, there is a bootleg NES game that is a demake of Final Fantasy VII that was made like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something like that. I think someone actually did a Let's Play it on the old sub forum at some point, but... I just need to very quickly switch out Sonon's lightning materia for fire for this next enemy we're about to fight. We got a new enemy type coming up. And I can't remember if it was something that you would come across normally in the part of the original 7 that this remake adapted or not, but I was sad to not see it anywhere, so I'm glad it's here now.
Heck apartment.
Yes.
It's just a reskin.
Yeah.
Will begin momentarily.
So the enemy here is called Death Wheel.
Ooh, hello.
It's a wheel that wants to kill you.
It's a wheel of death.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
One-on-one.
So yeah, I just always loved that it was just a little wheel with a head glued to the top and spikes.
What more do you need?
Yeah.
This is the elegant design phase of Scarlet's career.
Yeah. This is what happens when Hojo's hands aren't in the project at all. It's just elegant, compact. No
the
tendrils.
Minimal viable death wheel, yes.
So fights with the death wheel either go very quickly or he utterly destroys you. There's like no in between.
Which can also be quick in its own way.
Yeah. So even though it's a robot, it's like immune to lightning magic, but it's weak to every other element. Maybe because it's mostly rubber? I don't know.
Oh, so this smells nasty when you're burning it.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Back to it.
Was that it?
But it's got this ability that it'll activate every once in a while where it's basically just every couple of seconds casts a lightning spell on you that doesn't do much damage, but it just stun locks you. And it can just hit you every couple seconds, and it just really messes you up. It's also got this shield, and anytime you try to attack it, it will face towards you and just deny you. But thankfully, it's only in the front, so you can just command Sonon to go behind it and just stagger it.
Yeah.
Get lost! With the power of his providence! We're the best there ever was!
That's this
My,
boss.
how impressive! Seems I may have underestimated how resilient you ninjas can be.
May have? How about did you, old hag?
You Wu Giants, so feisty. But let's see how you fare against what I have in store for you next. It's quite the treat, I assure you. Only the best for our honored guests, after all. Whenever you're ready.
I was like you see it in like small DLC additions to some games where it's just like, okay, it's a little bit more story, it's a little bit more combat with some new stuff mixed in with the old. And it's always just like, well, there's a part where they wanted to make it just a little bit longer so you can squeeze out a little bit more of the new combat features that aren't included in the main game. What's a good way to do that? Combat elevator.
Yeah.
The beat 'em up combat elevator. And also, a lot of the vending machines in the DLC just sell all of the really high-end, like, armor that you would find at the end of the main game, too.
Yeah. This
for a lot of money.
You got here.
Very expensive, but you can still get stuff like the Astral Cuff or the Iron Maiden, or the Force Bracelet, which I'm getting.
It's got so many materia holes.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Another Final Fantasy VII thing, just several updates ago, I mentioned, like, man, they put out a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale? Weird. Well, they shut down the Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale.
This Let's Play has outlasted the Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale.
Yep. The game lasted basically 1 year. Like, I don't think it's shut down yet, but it's shutting down very soon. I've never worked on a battle royale or anything, or am a business or strategy person with game releases, but I'm pretty sure putting it on phones only and not on PC or consoles where a lot of Final Fantasy fans are was maybe a bad idea. Also, going back to the Yuffie's starter weapon, because you can get tons of materia slots on it really quick.
Yeah. Look at all your slots. Look at your slots.
It's great.
Got so many slots.
There's also mods for the PC version that just gives everything like 8 slots, which is even more than you can have anywhere in the entire game.
Dumb. That's just dumb. You can't have that many slots.
Yeah, in between all of the nude mods and other weird mods, there's a couple like really talented people who were trying to make like new costumes for all the characters that are more inspired by like the concept artist's art style. There's one for whose art style is basically tons of belts, beads, and sashes. And there's one for Barret that honestly looks really great.
Where are we? That thing can't be operational, can it?
We better hope not, boss.
At long last, Wu Tai's finest deigned to join us. You've performed admirably.
Quit acting all superior. We both know you're afraid of us.
Is that so? Well, maybe I am.
You should know there's more where we came from. Lots more. And you'll never see them coming. Just imagine a whole clan of ninjas landing on your doorstep.
Oh my! We must do something right away.
Well, you can't.
Don't say that. Won't you at least give us a chance?
What the?
Allow me to present the latest innovation in Shinra battle armor. Designed by yours truly. This'll be a memory to cherish for the rest of your lives. All 30 seconds of them.
But not for much longer, eh, boss?
Right on. They're as good as scrap.
I'm just surprised that she has a chair and not the, like, lean over a motorcycle style cockpit.
Yeah. So scanning her, we actually have 2 targets, because if you're going after a mech, you should probably just go after the pilot if you can. So yes. the way to pressure the battle armor is to actually just attack Scarlet until she passes out so she can't pilot it anymore. And a lot of the suit's abilities are actually her giving it commands, so if you knock her out, and even if the suit gets back up, all it can really do is shoot bullets until she wakes back up.
I'm not gonna come to Scarlet's office and tell her how to do her job, but I'm noticing a pretty good design flaw here.
Yeah.
She might want to take care of. Why is your mech a convertible? Why is this?
Yeah, so I think, pretty sure this mech suit is just an homage to the Magitech armor from Final Fantasy VI. They just put arms on it. But yeah, the Magitech armor shows up every once in a while and stuff. Mainly Final Fantasy XIV, where, you know, it's in the story. This also mounts, and it's just kind of a big iconic part of 6. So it was fun to see Magitech armor pop up again here.
Hell yeah, fire swords, yes! Yes!
Yeah,
I want her to win. This shit's cool.
Yeah, I love this boss fight just because it's really cool to fight against a robot with fire sword arms.
Yes!
Which, by the way, the battle armor is called the Crimson Mare.
Sure.
Yep.
No fair! Now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah, I haven't been using the ability for a bit, but Brutal Form comes in really handy here because you can just dodge straight through a bunch of attacks of hers pretty easily because she has lots of wind up time in her attacks. Yeah, she's been knocked out, so the mech is just standing there, pressured, and we can just lean into it.
And now you just ping pong around it. Yeah, okay.
I mistimed it a bit here, but once you have Ninja Cannonball and you can get Sonon's ATB to accumulate a lot faster, it makes it way easier to pop off 2 synergized abilities in a row while an enemy staggers. So you can do the Windstorm to make its stagger percentage go up, and then hit it with the big damaging attack right after.
But I rather suspect your wish that I had.
God, this thing owns.
Yeah. So something I really like about this fight is like, okay, we go into phase 2 and, you know, switches arms into these laser cannons. This isn't just a phase change thing, it's just an ability she has. She can, whenever she wants to, just pop up there and switch out to different armaments for her mech.
I take it back. No, this should... You should let the top down and cruise in this thing. You deserve it. Damn.
And the mech has different abilities depending on what arms it has, of course. It's a cool-ass fight, man.
It's so good. Man, if they make a kit of this, I swear to God.
Right? I want a kit of this!
Yes! I will hurt my fingers so badly on all these pointy bits. It's so pointy.
Yeah, it does look like it would be a pretty difficult one to put together, but it would be worth it. Especially if it's made out of a, like, some material that makes it nice and shiny.
Oh no, I'm definitely getting my gloss coat on this one for sure.
Yeah. Also, all the different arms it equips, they have their own health, so you can destroy those to stop the attacks and all that.
It's time to bring our friend,
Wizard! Big Wizard!
Yes. The final battle between magic and technology. Yes.
That is a recurring motif in most Final Fantasies, so yes, it makes sense.
I'm just glad you had this equipped and not the final battle between baby chocobos and technology. It doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, and you kind of know who's going to win in that, I think. Yes, we have another set of arms here. Sword and shield.
Oh, yes!
Big sword and shield.
Oh, look at them. Oh, that's the stuff.
The big glowing like blue blade is so rad.
I love a good shield. Love a good shield.
This is a really pointy shield. It almost looks like a torn off a crustacean.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely crab bits.
Yeah.
But it's got the, like, grabby end. It kind of looks like the Gundam Death Size shield.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. I mean, there's already been multiple Gundam references in this game, so... But yeah, Yuffie. We've never seen Yuffie's limit break until now. It's called Bloodbath. There's so many particle effects in this boss fight, it might be hard to notice, but all of her attacks like kick up like leaves. Autumnal leaves.
And that's a seasonal thing, like if you set your system clock, you can see flowers instead. Yeah. Yeah, when I think Bloodbath, I think raking the lawn. For sure.
I mean, when Yuffie does it, it is.
Useless! Not nearly mobile enough. Should have known those actuators weren't up to the task. Time for an overhaul.
Hello? My. How the tables have turned. Huh?
Proud of yourself, little savage?
What are you doing?
Sleep well. Vice, this is a surprise. To what do I owe the pleasure? These idiots want to digitally replicate me, so I'm indulging them.
All set.
Transporting!
When will Shinra learn? There is no replicating you. They ought to know better. Looking forward to this? I am. It has been too long since my last hunt.
What'd you do? Tell us!
Is this how it's done in Wutai? You just howl until you get what you want?
That's enough, Sonon. I got this. All right, lady, out with it. Tell us where you're hiding the new materia. Don't play dumb now. We know you've been cooking up something super powerful.
Well, Wutai must have some highly skilled intelligence operatives. That, or we have a mole in our midst.
What was...
I'll check on it.
All right, but make it quick.
You are correct that we're in the process of creating an exquisite new materia. However, it is far from complete.
Yeah, right. You must think I'm stupid.
Would I lie to you? Regrettable though it is, other plans have been deemed a higher priority.
What other plans?
Well, just between you and me, my colleagues and I are going to drop plate number 7 on the slums. And then we're going to blame it on Avalanche and Wutai.
I don't get it. You're gonna drop a plate? And?
Oh dear. I think your friend might have run into trouble. Aren't you going to save him? Quickly now.
There you are.
Who are these assholes?
No clue. Just appeared.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but
Just hit me with it.
there is no ultimate materia. Not yet. She said it's still in the works. And she mentioned something else. They're gonna drop plate number 7.
They're gonna do what?
They're gonna drop plate number 7 on the slums. Apparently.
Blow up a part of the sector.
Wait. So GJ was being serious?
This is bad.
Let's go.
Right behind you. We may not have the material, but we do have good intel. And we can't afford to let it die with us.
How you like
Okay then.
So, like, in the main game, there's that part where you accidentally discover that Shinra research lab underground, like under Wedge's house or what was left of it.
Yes.
That was, although never said, like, directly spoken, was a deep ground facility. And deep ground is something introduced in the PlayStation 2 spin-off game Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus. And yeah, Deep Ground is just like the most top secret projects that Shinra is working on, including trying to make even more unethical soldiers more powerful than normal soldiers, which are these dudes.
And Power Ranger villains that
and Power Ranger villains
and Tifa beat up. Yeah.
Yep. And yes, we were also just introduced to fucking Vice and Nero, who are also major antagonists from Dirge of Cerberus. All that random bullshit they were saying that didn't mean anything, that's how all of Dirge of Cerberus is written, which is why it's not a thing I or many other people like. Like, I mean, it's an extremely funny game, for sure, unintentionally. I'm curious how much this stuff will factor into the main games, or if it's just like, well, this was a cool way to use some extended characters in like a side story, which, like when they first showed trailers and then fucking Nero shows up in one of the trailers for the DLC, I was just like, oh no, what are they doing? But after I played this, I was basically fine with it, because I'm not against having boss fights with them. That's fun and cool.
Just against them, you know, talking and and wearing the things they do.
You're not getting out of this one alive!
Have visual. Commence cleansing. The corner! Box him in!
Way to give it up!
That's the spirit! Let him have it!
I'm not going down till I fetch the happy turtle!
Huh?
Opening doors. Set it up. Grenade out!
Yuffie! Somehow, I seriously doubt it.
Oh, man, I so don't want to go back out there. But I don't think we've got a choice.
You know, maybe if we just sit on this bench long enough, they'll just leave.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it's people who work here in this facility that are after us. I'm sure they've been stopped by their own door. That'll keep them.